Hi everyone, Annette here from AE Stamps Latte, and today I have a fun and super easy card to share with you using the Paradise Palms bundle. When I saw this in the catalog, I fell in love with it immediately. I love all of the sentiments, and I love the water detail look of this stamp set. And when I saw the coordinating dies, I immediately just said, wow, I have to get this. So this was on my A list and I got it, and I finally decided to crack it open and give it a try. So yesterday I just grabbed a random color piece of green, which ended up being Mossy Meadow cardstock, and I die cut one of the palm trees here. And then I just kind of went from there, and I ended up with a really cool and easy card. So what I did first in making my card was I die cut one, and so here it is. Is that not cool? And then I die cut the grass using the Mossy Meadow cardstock too, and so that's there. And I was going, man, that is so cool. So I die cut another one, and as you can see how cool that's going to be looking if you have this set. You just have to cut that off and use that like that. You can also add more grass to it and do like a whole scene or an island, I guess, or grass, whatever you want. But I decided I just wanted to focus on the one palm tree itself. But I still had these pieces here and the grass. So I wanted to then obviously change this to be brown. So I die cut one more, and these are the pieces that I worked with. And also I needed to have a coconut or two in my tree. So because I was kind of really focusing on just what the dies can do, I just actually die cut the actual coconut on a blank piece of soft suede to match that. And so these are the pieces that I worked with to make my card that I'm going to show you here in a minute. So what I did what's so great is that you can just cut this, because I want to have this trunk on here. So I'm just going to cut this trunk off. Okay. And so we're going to have this be on here, right? And I want this to be fuller, plus I want to hide what I just cut off. So I'm going to cut this one off too. And I have another top, okay? And then I have these pieces. And this one is going to actually go on top, and you can kind of decide if you want to rotate it or, do whatever you want. I like it slightly rotated off like that. And then we're going to add the coconut up on here. But to even go one step further, I wanted to put some texture on my tree trunk, and then ended up doing the same thing with the coconut. So I need to bring in my Big Shot or my die cutting machine. And I decided to use the Tasteful Textile Embossing folder, which is a 3D one. So we don't need the number 2. We're just going to be working with the number 1, and it says right in here, if you're using a 3D embossing folder, then you just use numbers 1 and 4. So here is the embossing folder, and I'm going to put my trunk piece and my coconut in there. And for the card that I made, I wanted my coconut to stand out just a little bit. So after I put this in here, I kind of put it kind of close over here to the edge. And the reason why is that I wanted to add a little bit of ink to it. And you could just emboss it and then sponge some ink on it, but I want to, I like the effect that it makes on the actual indentation of the card. So I put a little bit there on there, and it's going to, be easier to clean because it's down there. And then I'm going to take my number 4 and run it through. Okay. Okay, so now I have my pieces. I have a texturized tree trunk, and I just put my fingers in that. But I have a texturized tree trunk to go on top of my tree. So let's add that with some Tombow glue. And you wouldn't have to do this, but I wanted mine to be a little thicker. So I thought this was kind of cool. Just like this, okay. And I think that looks really cute like that. And then, but we're gonna make it a little bit fuller, so we're gonna add that top one and slightly skew it a bit. So we have, whoops, I guess I need a little bit more glue. Okay, so now you should be able to see how that looks really cool. And then my coconuts have a little bit more texture, as you can see, with adding the sponged ink. And so I'm just gonna add that onto my tree. Okay, and so there is my cool palm tree, right? Okay, and so then I was like, okay, well, I have this really cool palm tree. What am I gonna put it on? Well, the coolest paper that I think is in the mini catalog is the 6x6 New Horizon Designer Series paper, because it does all the work for you. This paper is so cool. And I wasn't really sure, honestly, you know, like I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, but it goes with this other thing. No, this is gonna go with anything and everything that you have when you wanna make backgrounds. So this is the piece that I actually ended up using, but I just wanted to show you how cool it is. So it looks like that, and that looks so cool. But the other sides have really fun things too. So look at this side. You can make a sunset kind of looking card or a sunrise looking kind of card, and all you gotta do is cut this down and you got a beautiful card. So I was super excited, but my first time I ended up using this side and used this focusing on the sun, and then this is what my card turned out to be like. So super easy, super quick card, because I used the New Horizon Designer Series paper. I just die cut and glued these pieces. I die cut 2 of the island or grass pieces and then just cut off the ends after I glued it onto it. I used the sentiment from the actual stamp set for my card. And then I used dimensionals after I die cut it with the stitched rectangles. And then I added a little bit of ribbon and some gold gilded gems. So I just wanted to show you how cool and easy this stamp set is and how quickly you can make a beautiful, fun card. Thanks for watching, everyone. You can head on over to my blog and see all the details and more pictures and an inside. Thanks.